What is all of this? All right, so this is my first time streaming on the internet on this Tuition Near Me channel, and today I just want to talk about the recent incident of this Korean student slapping the teacher. And it's actually a pretty viral incident in South Korea and the entire Asia as well. I don't know if it's really, I don't think it's viral in US at all, but it's really viral in South Korea and Asia because as most of you would know is that in Asia's context, it's very different from like in other places. They place a lot of emphasis on respect for the seniors. They place a lot of emphasis on respect for teachers. They place a lot of respect for people who have the authority. For example, let's say you have a lot of respect for your bosses. You have a lot of respect for your seniors, even your elder brothers. And so based on that incident, based on the footages that I saw online, right, it's like the teacher, in fact, it wasn't really a teacher. The footage actually showed that they titled that it was a vice principal of a certain school. And this vice principal, he was filmed standing just right there, and he was standing there holding onto the student's hand. And in just a few moments time, right, the student started to slap the teacher. And after the first slap, the vice principal just stood down there and did nothing at all. He didn't reprimand the student. He didn't beat the student. And after a while, the student continued to slap that teacher. So it was pretty surprising. And from the way it was being recorded, you can sense that the person who was taking the video, you can sense that he already anticipated that the student might resort to slapping the vice principal. So what I'm trying to hint is that this particular student may, in the past, have already slapped teachers and the principal several times before, and the teachers know beforehand. And so what the teachers are trying to do is that they are trying to capture what the student is going to do, and they predict that that particular student is going to do that again, which is why they already position the camera and so on to capture that footage. And you can see that the principal, he just stood down there. He didn't move at all. It was as if he was trying to, trying to get the student to slap him as well. So he wanted that to be captured on the footage, on the video. But then again, it's not really the point. The point is that that student actually slapped the teacher, the principal. And that is very big in Asia context. Like what I explained earlier, Asians place a lot of emphasis on respecting the seniors, respecting people with authority. And regardless whether is it in Japan, I used to study in a Japanese school when I was younger, much younger, like kindergarten. And you are taught to have a lot of respect for your seniors, even those who are just like older than you by 1 grade or 2 grade. And the teacher's words were like, absolute. There's no way you're going to argue back. It's the same thing when I learn karate. It's the same thing when I learn kendo. all the teachers, you had to respect all the senseis, you had to respect all the teachers, and there's absolutely no way that you're going to disrespect them by scolding them back, by questioning their authority, or by using, fighting back. No way it's going to happen. And it's the same thing for places in Cambodia, in Laos, in Indonesia. In Indonesia, there's a lot of respect for people who are much elder than you. In Malaysia, all these Islamic countries, you have Malaysia, you have Indonesia, which is dominantly, you have a lot of Muslim in those countries. And when you are practicing Islam, you are taught to respect your seniors, and you can see that fellow Muslim, even though they see other elderly Muslim who are not their relatives, you can see that they treat the elderly Muslim with a lot of respect. So generally, in Asia, that's the way it goes. You really respect your seniors. So when I saw the footage, I was in a deep shock. I was asking myself, why is this happening in the first place? Right? So the first thing that came to my mind is that perhaps that the students' parents or the students' grandparents or relatives, they are somewhat in a high position within the society, enjoying high social standing, enjoying, jobs with like powerful influence, that the student, he thinks that his parents are more powerful than the teacher, more powerful than the principal, which is why he is in a position to disrespect the teacher. And I don't know if this is a very common thing going on for the teachers right now, because times are changing, and I can't always say that the students have to behave the way they behave during my time. You certainly can't compare the students to my time. You can't compare the students to my parents' time. And from what I heard from my parents, the teachers during that time is even worse than my time. It's like during my time, the teachers, they'll resort to, when you're naughty, right? The teachers, they'll resort to using canes, and they'll resort to using rulers to hit your knuckles, to slap your palm, to hit your bottom, in order to discipline you. But I heard from my dad that during his time, the teachers actually throw the duster at the student. Sometimes they throw the chalk at the student, in order, when the student is sleeping in the class, and the teacher will like take the chalk and throw at the student to wake him up, or even throw the entire duster to wake him up. And the duster those time weren't made of plastic. So now we have plastic. We have dusters that are made of plastics, which are very light. And but back in those days, and in addition to that, those dusters that we have right now, the plastic ones, they are hollow inside, so they are really light. And if you get hit by any one of them, it's not going to be that painful. But the dusters in those days, when I was much younger, it was different. They were made of wood, and it wasn't hollow. It's all completely made of wood, so it's pretty heavy. And if you get hit by any of those dusters, you're gonna feel a lot of pain. It's gonna be a very painful experience. So those were the days, and I can't compare. We can't compare the students to those days. Students now are certainly very different. The Gen Z is very different, and you have to be very careful around Gen Z students. You have to be very careful around Gen Z employees. You can't say anything wrong to your Gen Z employees, because the moment you say something wrong about your Gen Z employees, and the next day, the next moment, they're going to go live, and they are going to explain to the whole world what you've done to them. So it's all on record. So everything has to be clean cut. But there's some good in that, so that some seniors, they don't dare to play punk with the students, or play punk with the employees. But well, that's another story. So the main focus is the Korean students slapping the teacher. Okay, so So this brings me back. Okay, so this brings me back to the point whereby this is why it encouraged me to do this live streaming right now. And because of this, right, this is my first time doing live streaming. I'm not very comfortable with it, but I think I'm okay. I'm not very comfortable, but I'm okay. And I think I should do this on a regular basis. Firstly, because I like to share about my thoughts on certain issues that are going around the world right now, especially in the education sector. And second of all, this is the Tuition Near Me channel, and I want to use this platform, YouTube. I want to use this opportunity to promote this Tuition Near Me. And this Tuition Near Me is a product that I've designed and developed. Basically, it's a platform, it's an edutech platform, educational technology platform, where teachers, tutors from all around the world, they can create live lectures, they can create recorded lectures and pair them up with a suitable quiz, for example, MCQ, essay writing, ordering, mathematics question, you know, all those kind of different kinds of quizzes. So you can pair it up with your lectures, and you can offer it to students all around the world, all around the region, all right, in your region. And you can choose to offer it for free if you want to contribute your academic expertise for free. We certainly welcome your contribution, because let me just divert a bit, because let's say for places like in Southeast Asia where I'm based, we have a lot of places that are underdeveloped, apart from Singapore, Malaysia, you know, Indonesia, but there are other places that are not so developed. And based on the United Nations statistics from last year, the recent statistics for the education for their education research, they showed, the United Nations found that more than 40 million students, more than 40 million people in Southeast Asia, they don't have access to high quality education, and that is somewhat hindering the ability to get good jobs, their ability to sell to the rest of the world, sell their products to the rest of the world. So we certainly welcome tutors and teachers from all around the world to come hop on our Tuition Near Me platform to create some great educational programs for these people who are in Southeast Asia. You know, most of you are very privileged. Well, I say some of you might be very privileged enough. So I hope that you can contribute your expertise for all these people. 40 million, just think about that, more than 40 million. I think there's so many people out there who don't have access to high quality education. So you can provide courses like English courses. English courses are always very welcome, because most of the job opportunities are in the English speaking world. And so a lot of the people with the purchasing power, they speak English as well. So if you are able to teach these 40 million people in Southeast Asia the English language, then you are helping them to access the English speaking market. You are helping them to access, and once their English speaking ability improves, then they will be able to access a lot of jobs that are generated by the English speaking world. Then apart from that, the second point that I'm going to talk about is the tutors and the teachers, if they don't want to offer their courses for free, they can monetize it through our platform as well. They can list a price, they can create the courses with their pedagogy and pair it up with assessment, and they can combine the different modules, education modules, in different levels of difficulties and sell it as a bundle, and you can list a price. Go ahead and list a price for the expertise that you're selling, $99, $100, $200, just go ahead. We are just going to charge a small fee of 15%, you're not going to pay anything upfront. I'm sorry, you're not going to pay anything upfront. All you have to do is to just list your course, and if there's any students who sign up and they paid money for it, then okay, we'll just take a cut. Otherwise, you don't have to pay any money upfront. Just sign up for free, create your courses for free, and once you have you list a price for your courses, so just go ahead, and we are not going to ask any money from you upfront. So when the students they decided to pay for your courses, we just get a cut from it. And if you decided to list it for free, then the student will learn for free, then so be it, all right? So we want to change the world in this way. And I believe that this platform is the perfect place for us to make a difference in Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia is very different from places like in UK, United Kingdom, in USA, United States, or it's very different from Hong Kong, it's very different from Singapore. You know, it's very different from all these places. There are many places that are underdeveloped. There are certain parts of Philippines, there are certain parts of Indonesia where students are actually located in very far away regions, and they have to travel very far in order to access their school on a daily basis. And sometimes, you know, when typhoon hits, or you call it a hurricane, when a hurricane hits and the bridges might get destroyed, so these kids, right, they might get stuck in their houses, and they are not able to access their school anymore. But they have portable batteries, so the local government will supply them with portable batteries in order to supply them with the needed electricity to keep their equipments functioning, like lightings, like internet access, like satellite phones. Then they'll supply them with food as well. But they aren't able to cross the bridges because it's destroyed by the hurricane or the tornado, as you might call it. So in these cases, right, they have to stay in their houses and they have to access their courses through the internet. And this is where your help, your assistance, your expertise is appreciated. So which is why I created this platform. Okay, so now back to the Korean student that slapped the teacher, right? So this is another point. This is another thing that I hope that my product is going to address. There's actually three. There's also three factors that I would like to address. First of all is the abuse that teachers are suffering. That's suffering because of abuse by the students. So you have an increasing number of students who are abusing the teachers. So in this case, you have the Korean student who slapped the vice principal. And there are many cases, there are growing number of cases in Asia right now that students, some of them, they even punch their teachers, right? Some of them, they are very cheeky, they pull the bra strap of their teachers, and it's very disrespectful. So if, let's say, if you were to conduct a live lecture or recorded lecture through our Tuition Near Me, my products, my platform, Tuition Near Me's platform, you will be able to reduce this kind of case, because you can't punch someone through the internet, right? You can't hit someone through the internet. You can't slap anybody through the internet. So with this, we can reduce the abuse that teachers are suffering. Then on the flip side, we also try to reduce the abuse that students are suffering, because there are cases whereby the parents, you know, in Asia is a changing landscape right now. So people in the United States and in the United Kingdom, they might think that this places in Asia is where the females are being underappreciated. But now that's no longer the case, because now we have a lot of parents who love their daughters very much. In China, it's a totally different case. The Chinese, they are bringing up their daughters like as if they are bringing up their sons, right? So now we have a very long period of single child policy in China. So now you have a lot of families who have a single daughter, and the entire family plus the grandparents and so on, they're investing so much money into their daughters, sending them for extra tuition, sending them for extra classes, and investing so much to them, buying houses for them, buying cars for them, setting them up for martial art classes. So they are now is the time where even in China, they're treating the daughter the same as they're treating the son. So it's very different right now. And in places like, other parts of Southeast Asia, it's the same thing. They love their daughters. In Singapore it's mad. In Singapore, right, the daughters are being treated like jewels. The ladies are being treated like jewels, right? Ladies in Singapore, they have great access to job opportunities. There's no such thing as a salary gap between males and females. No such thing. It's more of the job that you perform. How much can you contribute, and in terms of your work, your expertise, and you're being paid according to that, right? And in addition to that, there is this thing of we have this live chat. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, you can just put in this live chat. Let me just give an example. All right, let me just type something. Let me know if you have any questions related to our Tuition Near Me platform and and I'll be glad to be glad to address them. Right, I just typed something in the live chat. Here's the live chat. Let me know if you have any questions that's related to Tuition Near Me platform, and I will be glad to address them. Right? Okay, so back to this topic. So you have the daughters who, you have a lot of parents in Southeast Asia, and they are investing a lot in their daughters and sons. So some of them, they send the daughters and sons for extra classes. And over here, we call it tuition classes. So we send them to tuition classes, and there are some funny incidents that are happening right now. So in some of these classes, right, the tuition teacher is a male, and the students might be female. So you might get some abuse, like molestation, rape, and some physical abuse. You do have it. So it's always, you have it reported on the news on a regular basis, not very often, but regularly, So you want to prevent that from happening. You want to prevent this kind of things, this kind of abuse from happening to your children. You never know what's going to happen when you send your children to a tutor's class and you're not there to supervise. So the next best option is to have them attend like live lectures like this one, or have them attend recorded lectures and go through the assessment. So this platform is designed for the tutors to maybe have some recorded lectures, or the students can access those recorded lectures, and accordingly, once the recorded lecture has lapsed, you have completed that lecture, you can have the students to do the assessment. Then if they have any questions, then you can schedule a live session with those students so you can clarify all your doubts with the teacher through the Tuition Near Me platform. So in this case, well, of course, this is the YouTube platform. It's not the Tuition Near Me platform. But on the Tuition Near Me platform, it's almost the same as this, but it's purely focused on education. And you can do your quizzes and so on. So it's going to be you're going to reduce the abuse that are being suffered by the student, the potential abuse. And I suspect that I don't know, but if it happens, you don't want it to happen to your child. And you're not going to have it, no such thing is going to happen on the Tuition Near Me platform. Then the third point is that, like what I mentioned before, there's 40 million people more than 40 million people who don't have access to this proper education in Southeast Asia. So if you can contribute your expertise, but they do have the internet access. So times are different. They have internet kiosks, so they can access all these programs through the internet. And you have Starlink that's provided by Elon Musk. Okay, it's not an endorsement for Elon Musk's product, but I must say that it's a great product, because you are providing satellite internet to a lot of people, and they can access a lot of information through that medium. But talking about Starlink, right, is causing a lot of big hoo-ha among the governments around the Southeast Asia region. So, different countries, they have their own internet providers, their own telecommunication companies, and most of them belongs to the state, or in some way related to the state. Some of them are state-owned. And what Elon Musk is doing is that he is disrupting the structures, the business structure within some of these countries. And you have these state-owned companies or companies that are closely related to the state, that are providing internet to the population. Then these people, they have to pay a subscription to access internet, to access their TVs and so on. And then now you have this Elon Musk coming over, flying his satellite over the skies, the space above these countries. And if things goes in a certain way, I wouldn't say bad or wrong or right or wrong, if it goes in a certain way, then the people in these countries, they can bypass all these internet companies and bypass all these cable companies and directly subscribe to Elon Musk's satellite internet. And from there, a lot of profits are going to be hurt, and a lot of employees are going to lose their jobs. And the balance of power, that is another thing as well. There's a lot of things involved, politics involved. Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's right or wrong. It's not up to me to say. I'm just an ad tech company owner. So I'm trying my best to develop and design this product so that people in Southeast Asia can benefit, and I hope that you can join in to benefit these people as well. And so these are the 3 points. First, to reduce student abuse. Second, to reduce teacher abuse. And third, to benefit more people with high educational program. And all in all, right, I hope that students can benefit by gaining more access to great educational programs, and teachers and tutors, they can monetize their program. And so in doing so, they can earn more. So I'm hoping that can happen for all of you. I'm hoping that all the good stuff happening to all of you. And I'm hoping that this product that I've designed and developed is going to help in bringing more prosperity to all of you, bringing more academic excellence to all the students in Southeast Asia. And I'm really hoping that once we have conquered Southeast Asia, we're going to go beyond Southeast Asia, and we're going to conquer the whole world. Right? I'm going to conquer the whole world. It's not just going to be in Southeast Asia, but we're going to use Southeast Asia as a base to benefit more people, and eventually we're going to benefit beyond Southeast Asia. We're going to benefit people beyond Asia. So this is why, so now back to the point where the Korean students slapped the teacher, right? So this is one of the points that our Tuition Near Me platform can address. And our Tuition Near Me platform is a very independent platform. It's not like you have to be associated with a school, right? So if you have you have an undergraduate degree, or you are skilled in certain things like programming, something like that. You're skilled in mental arithmetics, mathematics, and so on. By all means, offer your expertise. Join us and offer your expertise on Tuition Near Me. And I hope to see you there. So I'll be conducting this session regularly, and I will actually work on. I can only access this live chat during this time, and this is the time where I'll be working on building Tuition Near Me. So as I'm building out this entire system, I want to make use of this opportunity to chat to you as well. And I don't know how long each session is going to be. Now, let me just check. Okay, so since I started live streaming, right, it has been about half an hour. So I'm thinking maybe, yeah, this could be the average timing that I can offer to you guys. So this is one channel. This is the YouTube channel that you guys can reach me. I try to do it every night. I try to every now and then. And there are different ways to reach us as well. We have different programs on Tuition Near Me. We have a product demonstration, so you can book a product demonstration session on our Tuition Near Me website. Then I can go through on there, right? We can go through with you on exactly how are you going to use the Tuition Near Me platform. Then we have the 24/7 radio station on Tuition Near Me, and we feature a lot of kids-friendly programs. You can let your kids learn about different kinds of knowledge through our 24/7 radio station. And in addition to that, we have the Agony Aunt column where you can submit some of your parenting issues. Submit there and we can answer some of your questions. We also have our newsletter. So the newsletter is called Better Today, Happier Tomorrow. So in this newsletter, we feature some of the latest insight related to parenting, to cooking recipes. Cooking recipe is a very important thing for a lot of parents, and some of the educational matters like classroom management, how to teach a child, how to manage a class, and so on. So we have a newsletter. You can subscribe to our newsletter as well. Then on top of the newsletter, we have the weekly podcast. The podcast is called Better Education, Happier Kids. So in that particular podcast, you have access to a lot of parenting insight, a lot of education insight, how to teach your kids to reach even greater academic heights. So you can subscribe to our podcast as well. You can access the podcast on our Tuition Near Me platform, or you can access the podcast on Spotify. So we're just offering the podcast on Spotify and on our Tuition Near Me platform. Maybe we'll explore having the podcast here, and there are different things that you can do on our platform as well. You can list, if you are a tutor and you prefer to conduct face-to-face teaching, you can list your services on our website. We have a directory where tutors, they can list their face-to-face services, tutoring services. Then in addition to that, we also have the courses section where you can create your courses and list them. Students we have about 400 plus people who are visiting our website using our website on a daily basis. Then in addition to that, we also have, let's say if you have an event, right, that's related to education, so you can list your events on our website as well. And we feature a lot of good events. Currently, we are featuring events in Singapore right now, but why not just list your events wherever you are? If you're in Cambodia, just list it, right? Laos, just list it. Thai, just list it. And on top of that, we're building out this forum session. So this forum session is actually to facilitate discussion among teachers, students, and educators about the latest insight in education. So these are the things that you can make use of. I want to build out Tuition Near Me to be a full-fledged educational platform where tutors and students can do a lot of things on this platform. And I want it to benefit a lot of people in Southeast Asia. There's so many people who needs assistance in Southeast Asia right now, be it in education, jobs, and a lot of things. So yeah, so back to this. Maybe I talk a bit too much. Maybe let me just work out a bit. Maybe work on my computer a bit as I continue to talk. You'll be more productive this way. Okay, let me just go to the newspaper cutting that's showing the kid slapping the Korean teacher. Well, I saw the video, but I didn't really read the news. So why? Oh my gosh. Let's say that, well, I typed kid slapping Korean teachers, and the first listing that comes up is that why teachers in South Korea are scared of their pupils. Then the second one is video of elementary students slapping vice principal in Jeongju. Jeongju is a place in Korea. Well, from what I see, right, the vice principal is like really tall, at least one head taller than the student, and the student actually has to reach up to in order to slap the teacher. I'm sorry, I can't show you the news article. I'm not so good at this editing for live streaming. I don't know how it works because this is my first time live streaming, and I'm actually having a little bit of difficulty coordinating between all this kind of stuff, like, talking and trying to work at the same time, and me wanting to show you what's showing on my screen. I'm not really well versed in all this kind of stuff. And it's really strange, to be talking non-stop. It's not a very Asian thing, to be honest. Asians don't like to talk so much. Asians just prefer to put their head down and just work. Yeah? Like for me, I was intending to, tonight I was just intending to just focus on programming and solving some bugs on Tuition Near Me. But I thought that, why not just have this live session and see how it goes. And just see how it goes. Let me just continue with this article. So let me just read out a bit. They say that there's a video capturing a student slapping a vice principal at an elementary school in Jeongju. And the student's mother reportedly, wow, even the student's mother stepped in as well. But the student's mother did not step in to stop the student from slapping the vice principal. The student's mother reportedly assaulting the homeroom teacher upon arriving at the school. And this incident has sparked a public uproar. So the student actually slapped the teacher. Then when the mother came to the school, right, she went ahead and slapped the homeroom teacher. She added fuel to the fire. Oh my gosh. I thought the mother would come in to stop the incident. It's a different era right now. Right. So the incident occurred on the morning of Monday when a third grade student is like so young, man. Dude, third grade. And you're third grade slapping a teacher, a vice principal. When a third grade student verbally abused and assaulted a vice principal who was trying to prevent him from leaving school without permission. The video released by the teacher shows the student slapping the vice principal multiple times in front of a classroom, and the student can be heard using profanity and even biting and spitting. Wow, biting and spitting at the vice principal. Wow, That's new. The vice principal scolded him, saying, "What are you doing right now?" In response, he said, "I slap you. Go to jail," and proceeded to slap him again. He also swung his backpack at the vice principal and bit his forearm. The vice principal stands passively with his hands behind his back, not reacting to the assault. And despite the intervention, the student eventually left the school without permission. Shortly after, his mother arrived at the school and instead of apologizing, allegedly assaulted the homeroom teacher. The teacher has since reported his mother to the police for assault. The vice principal told CBS, "Incidences like this frequently occur when we try to bring him back to school after he attempts to leave without permission. And in my opinion, what he needs most is treatment. But this is repeatedly hindered by laws and regulation, and the biggest challenge is the lack of consent from his parents." But I guess that maybe the student has a bit of mental issue. Otherwise, why would he resort to slapping? Oh, yeah, but if he has mental issue, then why did the mother slap add on and slap the teacher as well? Well, I can't comment much on this. It's really hilarious. It's not just the student that has mental issue. It's more than that. Right. So let me just come back to the screen. I can't really focus. Like, I can only do one thing at a time. Like, if I'm really talking, right, I can't really just work. If I'm working, I don't think I can talk. Maybe it's just the first time. Maybe I'm not used to it right now because, you have people who are playing games and talking at the same time. So I don't play games that much anymore. I don't play games much. So, but I'll try to get used to it. So maybe from the next few days, I'll try to do a bit of programming and do live streaming as well. Try to find topics of interest so that I can discuss with all of you guys. I'm trying to really get this channel to grow. Now Tuition Near Me has been around for around 6 months. We worked on the platform for some time, and we launched it 6 months ago. It has grown a fair bit. We are offering a lot of good products on Tuition Near Me right now. There's a lot of good causes. There's a lot of good assessments, and time and time again, we give out gift vouchers to students so that they can assess our assessments, they can assess our courses. I really want to better. It's not just about money making, right? It's about making a change to this world. And there's a lot of good stuff that we can do in Southeast Asia. A lot of good stuff have already been happening in United States, United Kingdom, and all these places. But a lot more can be done around Southeast Asia. And I feel that we are in a good position to lend our expertise to grow, to benefit more people. We are in a very good position to help. So my first step is to develop this platform, and we have a lot of good assessment. We have a lot of good exercises that you can download. I think there's a few hundreds exercises that you can download on the Tuition Near Me platform. You have sciences, you have mathematics, you have English, you have a lot more than that. You have word searches. Word searches are so popular with schools right now. You have a lot of summer camps. You have a lot of childcare services. You have a lot of all these kind of services, and the children, they just love word searches, right? So you can download those word searches for your students, for your children, and have them practice their English and have them have some fun. And there's a lot, those assessments are not just boring assessment. They are assessment with a lot of fun pictures, a lot of fun games. There's even some games on it that you can download. So it really helps to spark the intellectual aspects in the children as they play. So just go ahead, download. And we even have the Tuition Near Me Ambassador Program. So the Tuition Near Me Ambassador Program is something that, come on, hop onto our Tuition Near Me platform, create and contribute some causes to help more than 40 million people in Southeast Asia. Then once you have done at least 3 to 5 causes, we'll present you with a certificate to certify you as a Tuition Near Me Education Ambassador. Thanks for helping out. And then on top of that, you can sign up as an instructor on Tuition Near Me. Sign up as a tutor on Tuition Near Me, and wow. Am I still connected? I don't know if I'm still connected, but sign up as a tutor on Tuition Near Me, and once you sign up as a tutor on Tuition Near Me, you will have access to the course called Certified Tuition Near Me Digital Instructor course. So that course is worth USD $388. Once you sign up as an instructor on Tuition Near Me, you can access that course for free. There's something wrong with the internet, right? Let me just double check. All right, I think I'll just cut short the chatting session for today. I hope to see you on some other days on this Tuition Near Me chatting session. I hope to grow this platform. Currently, we have about 10 subscribers, and my first goal is to hit 100 subscribers. It's a very low count, but I don't know how I'll grow on YouTube. I try my best. I try my best to contribute as many videos as I can on YouTube. And in addition to this Tuition Near Me platform, I actually have another channel. It's called the Zheng Han Jun channel. My name. So on that channel, I focus more on producing content that are related to economics. On this platform, I focus more on providing content that are related to Tuition Near Me. I don't, at this moment, I don't know if I should do cross-posting across the different platforms. But I can't decide on that yet, because but at the moment, I feel that Tuition Near Me should have content that is only related to Tuition Near Me content, that is promoting Tuition Near Me and talking more about education in general. And for my Hanjun channel, I'd like to focus more on my economics content that is education on the subject economics. Then in addition to that, on that channel, I have some content that is related to the latest news from China and from Indonesia, because I feel that this two market is a very important market, which is why I pay a lot of attention to these two markets, and I try to provide timely updates from this market as well. Don't know if it's still... Am I still connected? Let me just do a check. Oh, right. I hope all is not lost. I hope that it's still being recorded. I wouldn't want to lose all of those recording. So now, right. Right, that's weird. I don't even know if it's being live streamed. No chat available for this platform. I don't know if it's still live streaming, but it shows that it's live streaming. All right, so that's about it. Let me just continue this conversation tomorrow. Let's try to do one more. Let's try to do one more conversation tomorrow. And I want to get in the mood of like doing work while doing live streaming as well. I don't want to waste time. It's better if I can do multitasking. Trying to connect with the users of Tuition Near Me and the people on the YouTube platform who are interested in educational content, any new latest insight from the education sector. So I'll try to provide through this particular platform. Then at the same time, I want to focus on doing some work as well, because there's a lot of improvement that I want to implement on this Tuition Near Me platform so that I can better serve you guys. And at the same time, if you have any features or any complaints, any feedback that you have regarding this Tuition Near Me platform, by all means, just communicate with me through this live streaming, and I'll be glad to talk to you directly. I'll be really glad to be connecting with all of you while working on it. So you can be sure that I'll be working on your feedback, right? So that's about it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.